So when
So,
you're ready.
okay. So I'm Runa, and I'm a business owner in IT. So
Yep.
what me motivated in movement is just in general. I wanted to keep fit and make sure my weight was under control, like most of us.
Yes.
Um, having grown up in Fiji, it's quite a revelation when you move to Australia and suddenly you are picking up a lot of weight just because it's much more comfortable life in Australia.
Yep.
Um, in Fiji, we didn't have a car, so I used to walk everywhere. Um, and so I realized pretty quickly that if I wanted to maintain my weight, I had to, or even reduce the weight I had gained, was to keep doing some of the good habits I had in Fiji, which was walking. Uh,
Yes.
so I incorporate a lot of that. So even this morning, I walked with my dog to her daycare, even
Oh,
though
that.
I could have driven. It's a good half an hour walk.
Yep.
Um,
So you make very conscious decisions to
yeah, yeah,
actually
basically,
you
yeah,
plan your diet to allow 10, like I think you said, a short drive
yeah,
versus a half an hour walk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll do that, which means I'm able to socialize more with the dog. Build a relationship.
Yep.
Um,
And
and
it's not a
even
chore. Is it fair to say it's not a
that,
chore?
that's
Because
right.
like,
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of fun with the dog. I meet people along the way. They'll pet the dog. So it's more social as well.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So the other thing was I did have a cancer removed 5 years ago. So I
Okay.
quickly realized the importance of well, it was the doctors and nurses told me to do all these really small movements, like just move your fingers up the hole to begin with, and then just do a little bit of
Okay.
stretches during the day, or walk down the hall a few meters every day, and then come back a few times.
Yes.
Um, so that made me realize that even if the movement is small, it has a lot of value. You know, if we are desk bound, all day, we can still do small bits of movement like just neck shrugs or uh, um, moving your head from side to side or
Yeah.
just moving your palms during the day.
Yeah. That
Um,
that must have
yeah,
been quite an I guess all kinds of emotions mixed into one when you have to start moving again, and just the exhilarating feeling from, like you were saying,
yeah,
small steps and seeing that actually it can lead to bigger steps. Is that a fair?
yeah, 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 yeah. So I quickly gained strength just from the small movements. And
Yes.
although a lot of people might think, oh, what a big change to your life, I also did feel exhilaration, as you said, in that I was all of a sudden, I'm quickly gaining movement. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that personal part of you going through cancer and yeah, getting your vitality back and your movement back. So really appreciate that.
no worries. Yeah, I think, people do bounce back. So whatever injury we have or whatever goals we have, I think
Yeah.
if we just put one foot in front of the other, I think we achieve things.
Yes, yes. So like the first step, and then that
Yep,
gets you into the other step, and then the
yeah,
other step. Yeah. No,
yep.
thank you. Um, so that was 5 years ago, and then so from then to now, like what to keep your motivation going, keep
Mm.
the boredom at by what steps or challenges you've had along the way, and just
Yep.
everyday tips and tricks that you might want to share.
Yeah, so I set myself goals like I'll get my friends to go with me on, 10K walk or 33K walk or, um,
Yeah.
I did a 5K jog. I walked and jogged. um,
Yes.
yep. But, at least I did it.
Yeah.
So, I just set goals and then it drives me forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So every now and then you'll have an event for the next few months that you work
Yep.
towards.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's one thing I've learned, that how important these events are with the website, the Keep Active website is
Yep.
initially, it's very easy to just think people will join my group, but having these events really motivates people.
Yep.
And I think you've just confirmed that. So thank you. In terms of challenges, like what do you do when you have some down moments or I don't
Yep.
know, winter and the rain, like any, or
Yep.
when your friends are not as enthusiastic perhaps as you are?
Yep.
Have you had
Yep.
that?
Um, Yeah, well, with my friends, they do seem to be a bit more enthusiastic than I am.
Oh,
Um,
good.
but I'm mainly the person who gets people together.
Okay.
Yep, yep. But with winter, I do the yoga in the morning, but I do more of a power yoga
Yep.
because as I'm growing older, I realize I need to do strength training.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was something else that was recommended to me after the cancer treatment is to do strength training.
Is that with weights or using body weight at a studio or
Yeah,
at home?
yeah.
Like how you're doing it?
So they did ask me to do body to use weights, but I am doing it mainly through yoga. So more power yoga.
Yep.
Just doing sun salutations.
Oh yes, Surya
Yeah,
Namaskar.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I've read people doing like 20, 30. Do you have a number you aim for or
I can do 10 now, but I am aiming to do 30 if I have enough time.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's very powerful that
yeah,
one. And you
yeah.
feel like a good stretch,
It
isn't it?
is. Yeah, yeah. It gets my heartbeat going.
Yeah. I think it's very underrated if you just do it once, but when you have to repeat all those
Yeah,
movements
yeah,
with like a few seconds of a break, and then it's quite exhilarating and tiring, and you're sore, but you feel a good
yeah,
stretch.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a weights person. I'm trying to get into it, but well, we'll see.
Yeah, you never say never, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Which should be exciting. Yeah,
And how many kilometers is that?
15.
Okay, so that's still a fair stretch. So now, thank you.
Yeah,
Um, d- Anything you want to share with, like, anything to share with the community before we end? Like any
yeah.
books that you're reading or any inspirational people that you follow that it doesn't have to be famous, just something that inspires you and
Mm.
anything like that?
I just think about all the nurses as they pushed me after my treatment. And because they kept saying, "Oh, well, have you done this? You're getting better." They kept encouraging me. So, from my perspective, I just think of that it's just one step at a time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
my main. Um,
Yep. No, thank you. And would you consider yourself like a social exerciser with people, or you prefer more of um, like your set routine? Like how often do you change it, your routine, or
yep,
walking track, that sort of thing?
yep. I do both. So, sometimes I'll walk with people, and
Yep.
sometimes I just walk to clear my head.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you so much, Runa. Do you have any questions of me? Of I don't know, just any queries, anything like that?
No, I think you're doing a great job with your website. I think people do need to be more active. I did read somewhere that kids are getting less active now earlier
Yes.
than they used to.
Yes.
Um, and girls especially are getting doing less activity earlier than boys.
Yeah.
At least boys keep playing sport or doing something.
Yes.
Um, so I think if we can, as a society, try and get kids to be in movement, think of
Yeah.
movement even.
Yeah.
Um,
It is hard, like with my own kids. We almost have to actively reduce their screen time.
yep,
I mean, we have experienced both, I think, the life without screens and then
yep,
having so much of that as
yep,
part of daily living, whereas they've just grown up with it. It
mm,
is a challenge. It is just
yep,
saying that's it. Because if you don't, then they just get sucked into the next game, the next
yep,
notification. And even simple things like I'm telling you, you don't have to like message your friends. You're gonna see them like the next day.
yep, yep,
Just have a chat. So yeah, yeah, I think that's why I we have started this because I believe it's very important and
mm,
um and it's actually one of the hardest things because our lifestyles like I I'm not
yeah,
saying anything
yeah,
good or bad. It's just what it is, right? Most of us have desk jobs, or even
yeah,
shopping is online, food delivery is online. If you really don't want to get up, you don't have to do anything. Making that
yeah,
conscious
yeah,
effort to do
yeah,
something
yeah,
takes that extra oomph. Whereas I
yeah.
think our parents probably wouldn't think twice. Like there
That's
was no
right. Yeah,
option.
yeah.
It was the
Even
only way
now,
to do something.
yeah. Even before, even if we're getting takeaway, at least we had to walk to the place.
To
Now,
the shops, burn your calories, and then come back with your fish and chips. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I think we'll end it there. Thank you, Runa.